Well, hello. We're glad you joined us again for the Way of Wisdom. And I'm here in front of the set for the Vacation Bible School. We had such a good time with that Vacation Bible School, I thought I'd use that as a backdrop. But we are looking at the book of Proverbs, and we're going to start today, Proverbs chapter 11. Proverbs chapter 11, and today we're going to look at verses 1 and 2. Dishonest scales are an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. When pride comes, then comes shame, but with the humble is wisdom. Well, that first verse simply has to say, with God's favor upon honesty. Notice it says, dishonest scales are an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. In ancient times, they would oftentimes use scales to buy and sell things. And they could have dishonest scales that the weights to the scale looked like they were the legitimate, but maybe they were hollowed out or a different material. And it was a way of cheating people. Now, I know we all would agree that cheating people is wrong, that the Lord would not delight in that. But what I want to focus on is what he does delight in. He delights in honesty. And so if we're to live a good life, the kind of life that God wants us to live, we need to do those things that bring pleasure to the Lord. And every time you're faced with a decision of being dishonest or honest, no matter what the reason, no matter what would be supposedly to gain by being dishonest, if your desire is to please the Lord, you do what is honest. And so it says, dishonest scales are an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. Now, verse 2 is what I really want to focus on more today, and that is the issue of pride and the danger of pride. When pride comes, then comes shame, but with the humble is wisdom. Now, notice pride will produce shame, but humility will produce wisdom. And the book of Proverbs is all about living a life of wisdom. And oh, what a beautiful promise this is, that if we will but live in humility before God, God will impart wisdom. But the opposite of humility, of course, is pride. Pride will result in shame, whereas humility will result in wisdom. Look at chapter 16, verse 18 of Proverbs. It says this, chapter 16 of the Proverbs, verse 18, pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Better it is to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. Why? Because a humble spirit will produce the wisdom of God, and God's wisdom is more to be valued than great riches. So here is the contrast. Pride results in shame. Humility results in wisdom. So how should we then be living today? Humbling ourselves before God. Not exalting ourselves. Self-exaltation or pride will always result in shame. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 12. Before destruction, the heart of a man is haughty, but before honor is humility. Here we see the contrast again. What will pride produce? What will humility produce? Well, in 1812, destruction is the result of a haughty spirit, a spirit that grows out of a heart of pride. But what will humility produce? Humility will produce honor. And so today we have a very, very clear choice. Do you want to live in God's wisdom, which will eventually lead to greater honor? Or do you want shame and destruction? The difference is not what happens in the circumstances around us, but the difference is simply this. Will I be humble or will I be proud? Well, God can humble his children, but it's much better if we humble ourselves and lower ourselves before the Lord and say, God, I want to humble myself before you today because I want wisdom. I want today your wisdom to be imparted to me. And the only way that I can receive wisdom is if I am humble. And the only way that I qualify for honor is if I am humble. If the proud man receives honor, it will be to his destruction because he'll become even prouder. So if you will humble yourself before God today, He will bless you with wisdom and eventually honor. I trust that you will live this way as we continue to pursue the way of wisdom, studying the Proverbs together. God bless you.